Faith, devotion, reverence. How do we describe our attitude toward God? In this episode, we'll explore words that express beliefs and spirituality with clear definitions, examples, and meaningful images. Let's dive into the language of faith. Worship as adjective. Characterized by devotion, reverence, or homage to a higher power or spiritual belief. Of or relating to the act of revering or adoring a deity or religious figure. The sacred text is recited during the worship rituals. The worship music filled the sanctuary with praise and adoration. She wore her best attire to the worship service at the church. The worship ceremony took place at the temple early in the morning. The community gathered for a worship procession to honor their deity. Agnosticism as noun. Doubt or skepticism regarding religious or metaphysical claims. The belief that the existence of God or the divine is unknown or unknowable. She was raised in a household that embraced agnosticism, allowing her to explore different beliefs without pressure. Agnosticism differs from atheism in that it does not necessarily assert the non-existence of a deity, but rather questions the possibility of knowing. Many scientists adopt an agnostic stance on matters of faith, preferring to focus on empirical evidence rather than theological speculation. The philosopher's writings explore the complexities of agnosticism and its implications for moral and existential questions. Agnosticism is often characterized by a lack of certainty regarding the existence of a higher power. Spiritual as noun. A person who is religious or inclined towards spiritual matters. Someone who seeks connection with the divine or transcendent. An essence or quality that is immaterial, non-physical, or transcendent, relating to the soul, spirit, or inner being. The retreat offered participants the opportunity to deepen their spiritual understanding through contemplative exercises and group discussions. The artwork aimed to evoke a sense of spiritual awe and wonder, inviting viewers to contemplate the mysteries of existence. He described himself as a spiritual seeker, exploring various religious traditions and spiritual philosophies in search of truth and enlightenment. The spiritual leaders of the community played a central role in providing support and counsel to their congregation. She found solace and guidance in her spiritual practices, attending weekly meditation sessions and prayer circles. Sacred as adjective. Deserving of special treatment or protection. Inviolable. Regarded with reverence and respect, often because of religious or spiritual significance. The oath he took was considered sacred and binding, never to be broken. The temple was a sacred place where worshippers gathered to pray. The burial ground is considered sacred and is off limits to visitors. The traditions of the tribe are deeply rooted in their sacred beliefs. The sacred text is revered by millions as the Word of God. Divine as verb. To discover or infer something, as if by divine inspiration. To discern or apprehend through spiritual insight. To perceive or intuit something through intuition or insight. To understand or comprehend without explicit reasoning. The shaman claimed to be able to divine the future by reading signs in nature. She tried to divine the meaning of the cryptic message through careful analysis. He divined the location of the hidden treasure based on clues from ancient maps. The fortune teller attempted to divine the fate of her clients by reading their palms. The prophet was said to divine the will of the gods through visions and dreams. Faith is noun. Belief in something without necessarily requiring proof or evidence. A strong conviction or adherence to a particular set of principles or values. Confidence or trust in a person, belief, concept, or entity, often based on spiritual or religious convictions. Despite facing numerous challenges, his faith in himself never wavered, propelling him to success. His faith in humanity was restored after witnessing acts of kindness and compassion. Many find comfort and solace in their faith during times of hardship or uncertainty. The preacher's sermon inspired the congregation to deepen their faith and commitment to their beliefs. She has unwavering faith in the power of love to overcome adversity. Polytheism as noun. A religious worldview or theological perspective that acknowledges the existence of multiple gods or divine entities, each possessing distinct powers, attributes, and spheres of influence. The belief in or worship of multiple deities or gods, often associated with religions or belief systems that recognize and venerate a pantheon of divine beings. Ancient civilizations such as the Greeks, Romans, and Egyptians practiced polytheism, worshiping a diverse array of gods and goddesses associated with various aspects of nature, human life, and the cosmos. Polytheism is the belief in and worship of multiple deities. Polytheism can manifest in different forms, including animism, pantheism, and henotheism, reflecting diverse cultural and religious beliefs about the nature of the divine. While many ancient cultures practice polytheism, monotheistic religions such as Judaism, Christianity, and Islam espouse belief in a single, all-powerful God. In polytheistic religions, rituals and ceremonies are often performed to honor and appease different gods and goddesses, seeking their blessings, protection, and favor. Providence as noun. Foresight, prudence, or wisdom in the management of affairs. The ability to anticipate and make provision for future needs or events. The protective care and guidance of a higher power or divine being, often seen as a source of blessings, protection, and favorable outcomes. Many people attribute their success and good fortune to divine providence, believing that God has guided their paths. The ship's safe arrival in port was seen as a testament to providence, as it had weathered a severe storm at sea. The charity's work was motivated by a belief in providence, seeking to alleviate suffering and bring hope to those in need. In his farewell speech, the leader expressed gratitude for the providence that had guided their nation through times of adversity and prosperity. Despite the challenges, they trusted in providence to provide for their needs and guide them through difficult times. Deism as noun. A religious outlook or system based on the idea of natural religion, emphasizing reason and observation of the natural world. The belief in the existence of a supreme being, specifically a creator, who does not intervene in the universe. Deism rejects the idea of a personal God who intervenes in human affairs. Modern proponents of deism argue for the existence of a creator based on evidence from nature and reason. The founding fathers of the United States held various religious beliefs, with some leaning towards deism. Deism emerged as a prominent philosophical and religious movement during the 17th and 18th centuries. Many Enlightenment thinkers embraced deism as a rational alternative to traditional religious beliefs. Atheism as noun. The absence or rejection of belief in the existence of deities or gods. The doctrine or belief that there is no God or gods. His atheism led him to question traditional religious teachings and seek alternative explanations for the mysteries of existence. Atheism is often misunderstood as a lack of morality, but many atheists adhere to ethical principles based on reason and compassion. Some people find comfort and purpose in atheism, embracing the idea that life's meaning is found in human connections and experiences. Atheism is a diverse worldview, encompassing a range of perspectives from agnosticism to secular humanism. Atheism has a long history, with thinkers from ancient Greece to the modern era advocating for non-belief in divine beings. Transcendence as noun, the act of rising above or beyond the limitations of physical existence, often associated with spiritual or philosophical concepts. The state or quality of being beyond ordinary limits, surpassing or exceeding the usual or ordinary. The music had a sense of transcendence that transported listeners to another realm. Through meditation, he experienced moments of transcendence where he felt at one with the universe. Many people find a sense of transcendence in nature, feeling connected to something greater than themselves. The artist sought to capture a sense of transcendence in her paintings, evoking feelings of awe and wonder. The concept of transcendence is central to many religious and philosophical traditions, exploring the nature of existence beyond the material world. Theism as noun, belief in the existence of a god or gods, especially a personal god who actively intervenes in the world. The doctrine or belief in the existence of at least one god. Philosophical debates often revolve around theism and its implications for morality and the nature of reality. Deism posits a form of theism that acknowledges the existence of a divine creator who does not intervene in human affairs. Theism stands in contrast to atheism, which denies the existence of any gods. Christianity, Islam, and Judaism are all monotheistic religions that adhere to theism. Hinduism encompasses various forms of theism, including both monotheistic and polytheistic beliefs. Reverence as verb, to regard or treat with deep respect or admiration, to show honor or devotion to someone or something. In many cultures, it is customary to reverence sacred objects or places. The students were taught to reverence their teachers and elders. Soldiers are trained to reverence the flag as a symbol of their country's ideals and values. The students stood in silence, reverencing their teacher as she entered the classroom. The congregation reverenced the holy relics with prayers and offerings. Spiritual is adjective, of or relating to religion, religious belief, or the practice of religion, concerned with sacred or divine matters, relating to or affecting the human spirit or soul, pertaining to matters of the spirit or inner life. The spiritual leader delivered a powerful sermon on forgiveness and redemption, inspiring his followers to lead lives of compassion and virtue. The music festival aimed to create a spiritual atmosphere, with performances that uplifted the soul and touched the heart. The monastery provided a tranquil environment for spiritual reflection and prayer, away from the distractions of modern life. She described her experience in nature as deeply spiritual, feeling a profound connection to the natural world and its mysteries. The spiritual significance of the pilgrimage route drew thousands of devout believers seeking spiritual renewal and enlightenment. Worship as verb, to honor or respect deeply, to regard with admiration, devotion, or love, to show reverence or adoration for a deity or religious figure, to engage in religious rites or ceremonies. Many cultures worship various gods and goddesses. She worships God with prayers and hymns. The tribe worships nature, believing in the spirits of the land and sky. He worships his favorite celebrity, hanging posters of them all over his room. They worshipped at the temple every Sunday morning. Divine is adjective, excellent or delightful in a way that seems to be of divine origin, supremely good or beautiful, of, relating to, or proceeding directly from a god or a deity, godlike or heavenly. The sunset over the ocean was a truly divine sight to behold. The ancient Greeks believed in divine intervention in human affairs. She wore a gown made of silk that draped around her like a divine garment. The cathedral's architecture was described as divine, with its soaring arches and intricate stained glass windows. The music had a divine quality that transported listeners to another realm. Devotion as noun. Profound dedication or loyalty, often towards a person, cause, or belief. Religious worship or fervent observance. The nun's life was one of devotion to God, spent in prayer and service to others. Her devotion to her family knows no bounds. She always puts their needs before her own. The soldiers showed unwavering devotion to their country, even in the face of danger. He practices yoga with devotion, finding solace and peace in his daily routine. The fans' devotion to their favorite sports team is evident in their unwavering support, win or lose. Belief is noun, a strongly held opinion or conviction, an acceptance that something exists or is true, especially without proof. The company's success was built on the founder's unwavering belief in their product. His belief in the power of positive thinking helped him overcome many obstacles in life. Religious beliefs often shape people's values and behaviors. She held a deep-seated belief in equality and justice for all. Despite evidence to the contrary, his belief in conspiracy theories remained steadfast. Holiness as noun. The moral and ethical purity or righteousness associated with religious devotion or spiritual practice. The quality or state of being holy, sanctity, sacredness. The pilgrims traveled to the holy city to seek spiritual enlightenment and experience the holiness of the sacred sites. Many religions emphasize the importance of living a life of holiness and righteousness in accordance with divine teachings. The monk's serene demeanor and humble lifestyle reflected his deep commitment to holiness and spiritual discipline. The ancient temple was revered for its holiness and served as a place of worship for generations. He dedicated his life to pursuing holiness through prayer, meditation, and acts of charity. Pantheism as noun. A religious or philosophical belief system that views the universe or nature as divine, sacred, or imbued with spiritual significance. The belief that the universe and nature are manifestations of a divine or universal force. The worship or veneration of all gods or deities collectively, rather than the worship of a single god or specific gods associated with traditional monotheistic religions. Prominent philosophers, including Spinoza and Emerson, espouse pantheistic views in their writings, seeing divinity reflected in the natural world. Modern pantheistic movements, such as certain forms of New Age spirituality, emphasize personal connection with nature and the cosmos. Pantheism challenges traditional religious frameworks by rejecting anthropomorphic conceptions of deity in favor of a holistic view of existence. Some ancient cultures, such as those of ancient Greece and Rome, practice forms of pantheism, believing in multiple deities associated with natural phenomena. Pantheism is often associated with nature-based spiritual practices and environmentalism, emphasizing the interconnectedness of all living beings. Piety is noun, a sincere and earnest commitment to spiritual or moral values, often expressed through acts of worship, prayer, charity, or adherence to religious rituals and observances. The quality or state of being devoutly religious or reverent, a deep sense of reverence, devotion, or loyalty to religious beliefs, principles, or practices. The monk's life was characterized by a profound piety and devotion to prayer, meditation, and contemplation. Her piety is evident in her regular attendance at religious services and her active participation in church activities. Acts of piety, such as fasting, almsgiving, and pilgrimage, are considered essential practices in many religious traditions. Piety motivates individuals to lead ethical and virtuous lives, guided by principles of compassion, humility, and justice. Religious leaders often encourage their followers to cultivate piety through spiritual disciplines, ethical conduct, and acts of kindness towards others. Religiosity is noun. Excessive or exaggerated religious fervor or zeal. The quality of being religious. Piety or devotion to religious principles. His religiosity is evident in the way he attends religious services regularly. The cult leader's extreme religiosity led his followers to radical actions. The country's culture is characterized by a high level of religiosity. The government sought to regulate the religiosity of its citizens by imposing strict laws. She expresses her religiosity through daily prayers and rituals. Reverence es nun, an act or expression of deep respect or devotion. Deep respect or admiration for someone or something. The tradition of bowing is a sign of reverence in many cultures. The students listened in silence, showing reverence for their teacher's words. A moment of silence was observed out of reverence for those who had lost their lives. The artist's paintings are treated with reverence in museums around the world. The temple was filled with an atmosphere of reverence and tranquility. Monotheism as noun. The belief in and worship of only one God, as opposed to polytheism or atheism. The doctrine or principle of there being only one God. Followers of monotheism believe in the existence of a single, supreme deity. Monotheism emphasizes the unity and omnipotence of a single divine being. The concept of monotheism emerged in ancient times as a departure from polytheistic belief systems. Monotheism has been a central tenet of many religious traditions throughout history. Christianity, Islam, and Judaism are all major religions that adhere to monotheism. Level up your English. Master vocabulary, idioms, and phrasal verbs with fun quizzes. Translate meanings into 104 languages. Download now. Link in the description. Please like and subscribe to our channel.